Hey everyone, welcome to Big Flick Energy. With the release of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, we got a movie that showed us really well how 2 or 3 universes look, but no more than that, which was kind of disappointing considering the title was Multiverse of Madness, but I really liked how they explored one of those universes. And some of the characters that we saw in that universe actually came up in previous projects that we've seen starting from the 90s up until last year. So today, I'm going to discuss how Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness actually created an entire new cinematic universe, which connected a ton of projects we previously thought to be completely unconnected. Now, before I go into this video, I just want to say there will be spoilers ahead. If you have not seen Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, I recommend you go back and watch it before watching this video. So after you watch that movie, which I thought was pretty good, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. After you watch it, come back to this video and let me know your thoughts. So the universe I'm talking about is Marvel's Earth number 838. The MCU is now officially Marvel's Earth 616, which I have no idea how Mysterio knew that in Spider-Man Far From Home. Who knows, maybe he actually has more knowledge than we thought. But we actually know that this universe that we saw in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which was the one where a lot of the action took place, contains the Illuminati and is known as Marvel's Earth 838. So, I mentioned the Illuminati, and this was probably the biggest surprise that we got in the movie. I did not expect this to happen at all with some of the characters that we saw. I obviously knew we were gonna see characters like Professor X and Captain Carter, since we saw them in some of the trailers, but I didn't expect other characters for this team to pop up. So I'll go into the Illuminati members and pretty much where we've seen them before, who they are, and how they fit into this new universe, which I think Marvel was trying to set up. So first off, we have Baron Mordo. He was the first character that we went from this team. He's the Sorcerer Supreme of this universe, as Doctor Strange was killed in this universe. So we actually got to learn that, and we got to learn that the main team of this universe is the Illuminati through him, instead of the Avengers, even though there are still the Avengers in this universe, as we meet Captain Carter, who is the first Avenger. They call her that in the movie, so we know that this is an actual team in this universe. We actually met Captain Carter previously in What If Episode 1, which was titled What If Captain Carter Were the First Avenger? So we can assume this episode to take place in this universe. Since every episode from this show is in a different universe, none of the other episodes take place in this same Earth number 838. Now the next character that we met was Black Bolt, who is the leader of the Inhumans. So he was previously seen in the Inhumans TV show, which did not perform well at all. But these are pretty big characters in Marvel, so we can assume that this show to take place in this universe, given the same casting for who played Black Bolt from the show and the movie. So given the MCU sort of ignoring all of the Marvel TV shows besides the Netflix shows as of late, where we obviously got to see Daredevil in Spider-Man No Way Home, and we got to see Kingpin in the Hawkeye series, but outside of that, shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Inhumans have really been ignored. So I think that the MCU team kind of decided to make most of these shows part of this other universe, as seen through showing Black Bolt. This would make shows like Inhumans, Runaways, Cloak and Dagger, which actually crosses over with Runaways, and Hellstrom, part of this Marvel 838 universe. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't included on this list, as I still believe the MCU hasn't fully decided what to do with this show, and I actually think Multiverse of Madness erases one of the ways fans have been saying it's not a part of this universe, but I'm going to talk about that more in another video. Now, the events of Captain Carter What If Episode 1 and all of the Marvel live-action shows don't actually have any plot holes or issues, so it actually fits in pretty well right here. Now, the next character we met was Black Marvel, who's basically the Captain Marvel of this universe, and this is her first appearance in any film or show for Marvel. Now, the next character was Mr. Fantastic, who, when we saw him, I got super excited. I actually jumped out of my seat. I had no idea John Krasinski was going to show up in this movie. So, seeing him actually playing that character was That was special. I really like that. So he's the leader of the Fantastic Four, and we'll pretty much get more into him when I mention the final member of this team, Professor X. So Professor X is the leader of the X-Men, as we know from a ton of the Fox X-Men universe films, but this is actually not the Professor X from the Fox X-Men universe, but instead from the Marvel animated universe, and this is for a couple of reasons. So first off, he dies in this movie, which would not make sense if it's the Fox X-Men universe, since we know he died in that universe during the events of Logan. Also, in the Fox X-Men universe, we know he has a very traditional wheelchair, but it has like the X on both of the wheels, while in the Marvel animated series, he has an iconic yellow chair, which he has in this film, and upon his first appearance in the movie, the animated show theme actually plays. So I think all of this pretty much shows that it's the X-Men animated Professor X and not the Fox X-Men Professor X. You actually have to realize that the X-Men animated show was part of a larger Marvel animated universe. A lot of people don't know that before the MCU, there was actually a Marvel animated universe which had like 8 or 9 shows. Because of this, we can actually assume all of these animated shows to take place in this larger Earth-838 universe. These shows include X-Men, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Incredible Hulk, Silver Surfer, Spider-Man Unlimited, Avengers United They Stand, and the new X-Men 97 TV show set to be released to Disney Plus soon, which makes even more sense of this Professor X being from the animated universe, since Disney is literally reviving the show. We also see Baron Mordo as an antagonist in this Spider-Man TV show, but in that show, he for some reason goes by the name Arden Broom, so we'll just say he's a different guy, which is kind of a reach, but it's not the first time Marvel changes an iconic character's name.
You're Ralph Boner?
Boner.
If we don't make this assumption, it kind of throws this entire video off, since Baron Mordo looks completely different in both iterations, and one of them he's a full-fledged antagonist, while in the other one he's sort of a protagonist. So I think this is just an entirely different character that we can assume to be a different character. Now, for Captain Carter, there is one issue here where Captain America shows up twice in this animated universe, once in X-Men and once in Avengers United They Stand. What I will say though is that in both projects they only ever refer to Captain America as Captain America and never by the name Steve Rogers. Because of this, I would not be surprised if after the disappearance of Captain Carter during World War II, this universe figured out a way to create a new super soldier earlier and created a Captain America. It feels like a very American move and makes a lot of sense if you look at the personality of Cap in the animated shows. So it probably isn't Steve Rogers, and we know Marvel did have other Captain Americas after Steve Rogers was frozen in ice like Isaiah Bradley, but I think this version is more likely to have been a William Naslund or Jeffrey Mace. Another issue with her is Red Skull appears in the events of Captain America X-Men episode, and it appeared he died in the What If episode, but honestly, he had the super soldier serum and could have survived and escaped in all the commotion of the final battle in that episode. The next character that I want to bring up is Black Bolt, and the Inhumans actually show up in the Fantastic Four show, and nobody knows who they are, and it's sort of when this race of people was discovered, the Inhumans. So it fits in pretty smoothly with the Inhumans TV show where still nobody knows who they are. Now the next character is Black Marvel, who actually fits in really smoothly also, as Captain Marvel actually never showed up in any of the animated shows, so nothing goes against her having become the Captain Marvel of this universe instead of Carol Danvers. Since there is a Fantastic Four TV show, this Mr. Fantastic we saw actually fits in really smoothly given he looks a bit older with the beard than in the show, and nothing in the movie goes too deep into the character, so this Mr. Fantastic fits well. So now that I'm done discussing all the characters and shows that are in this universe, I'm actually going to mention the watch order I would do for it chronologically, and I actually haven't seen all of it, but I've done some research in the events and when they take place. But something that I will say is that this part would be kind of hard to follow, and if you do want to keep track of this, it may be easier to just go down to the description where I'm actually going to put this in there instead of watching this portion of the video, but it's also pretty cool to just hear it and hear how everything comes out together. So Starting off, we have What If Captain Carter were the first Avenger, which takes place in 1942. If you're gonna watch the entire MCU, I would watch this entire universe right after the new timelines form because of the finale of Loki Season 1. Now the next thing to look at is X-Men the Animated Series, Seasons 1 through 3, which is 1992 to 1994. Then Iron Man the Animated Series, Season 1, which is 1994. Then Fantastic Four Season 1, which is 1994. Spider-Man Season 1, 1994. X-Men Season 4, 1995, Iron Man Season 2, 1995, Fantastic Four Season 2, 1995, Spider-Man Season 2, 1995, X-Men Season 5, 1996, Spider-Man Season 3, 1996, Incredible Hulk Season 1, 1996, and then the new X-Men 97 show, which is going to take place in 1997, which hasn't come out yet, but it will come out soon. Then we have Spider-Man the Animated Series Season 4, 1997, Incredible Hulk Season 2, 1997, and Silver Surfer 1998. This show actually never finished, and it had Thanos in it as a big tease at the end of the show, but they never got to go more in depth with what happened. Next up, we have Spider-Man the Animated Series Season 5, which is 1998, Spider-Man Unlimited 1999, then the Avengers United They Stand, which actually has a 20 to 25 year time jump, which goes to what I would say is 2017, which takes place right around the time of Inhumans, which comes out in 2017. Then Runaways Season 1, 2017. Cloak and Dagger Season 1, 2018, where we actually see Runaways and Cloak and Dagger cross over in Runaways Season 2, which is in 2018. Then Cloak and Dagger Season 2, 2019. Runaways Season 3, 2019. And finally, Hellstrom 2020. So I would actually say finishing with Hellstrom kind of makes sense given this universe comes to fruition in a dark film like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and Hellstrom is a pretty dark show. So I feel like watching this universe and then going back to watch Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness actually has a different feel to it because you actually get to see all these characters coming back together, and sort of like we already know this entire team, just not in the way that we've seen them before. So like I mentioned, this universe is kind of hard to follow by watching a video of me talking about it, but I think it gives a good idea, and you could also see it on the screen, and it's in the description down below. But if you guys do have anything else that you want to say about this universe, something that could hold it from being true or something that makes it more true, please let me know down in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe. I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and if you do check out this universe, I hope you enjoy it, and let's see if we get more of it in the future. So thank you so much, push the bell notification, and see you next time on Big Flick Energy.